Welcome back to Kind of a Filmmaker. I'm Kevin, and today I have 5 more unique camera moves that you, if you are also kind of a filmmaker, should remember for your next filmmaking project. So let's get into it. Number 11, the Stairway to Heaven. It absolutely blows my mind that this camera move was used in a film from 1957. In the movie The Cranes Are Flying, we see this man running up the staircase, and as he goes, the camera rises and spins with him. I've also seen this shot in the TV show Euphoria, but I'm sure it was a lot easier in modern day with something like a techno crane to help out. However, back in the day, this move was accomplished using a rig made of a spinning tall scaffolding frame with a platform rising up with it. I think this move mimics the sense of joy this character is having and brings the audience along with it, as if the audience was rising towards heaven with the character. And by the way, this film is generally one of my favorite films of all time for cinematography, so if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. Number 12, the Ping Pong Pan. You should remember this simple camera move for your next dialogue scene. It comes from the film Videography, and it is when two people are talking to one another, and instead of cutting from close-up to close-up to close-up to close-up, you have one camera on a tripod behind both of them, and when one character talks, you just pan to that character, and when the other character talks, you pan back. It's kind of like you're playing ping pong. It gives the scene a sort of quirkiness, and also the metaphor could be viewed as something like people bouncing ideas off one another. This is more than a simple pan, it is a technique with a meaning behind it, and it can only be used in certain situations. Obviously, all you need for this is a good tripod. Number 13, the Party Pan. In the movie Cosmos, we see this character go into a club that would remind you of something out of Zoolander. The people are dancing, the music is pumping, and the energy is very high, and the camera work matches that energy. This wild, almost random assortment of camera moves matches the erratic nature of the club perfectly, and the reason I love this so much is because I think that camera work and editing should match the energy of a scene whenever possible. So for your next party scene, get crazy with it. Don't follow the rules and just do whatever feels right in the moment with your handheld camera and then edit it together in post. Number 14, the Panoramic Time Chamber. Remember in Dragon Ball Z when Gohan and Goku went into the hyperbolic time chamber? Well, this camera move is pretty much just like that because it condenses a large amount of time into a small amount of time. In Hunt for the Wilder People, we see Ricky walk into the woods by himself, and at one point we see him eating a sandwich while the camera is panning to the right. But once the camera passes Ricky, it doesn't stop. Instead, it keeps going, and we see him again and again, each time representing a different period in time. This move was also used later in the film, I think, to greater effect when him and his foster dad are walking through the woods and you see them walk off, and then you see a dog, and then you see them again, and then you see the people who are searching for them. If you want to do this on your own film though, you're going to need something like the Shoe Tools Auto Panner that you can program to spin at the same speed every time, and then you're going to want to do multiple takes with different people in the shot at different times. And then you're going to have to stitch those takes together in post. Number 15, the round table reverse. You've heard about the round table shot because I showed you in my previous video, but have you heard about the round table reverse? Well, of course you have, because it's one of the most famous shots in that 70s show. You know the one I'm talking about, the one where the camera is in the middle of the table and it kind of spins on an axis and shows each person around that table. You can see how they did this in the YouTube video That 70s Show Final Goodbye around the 1822 mark, and here's what it looks like. A slower version of this can be found in Full Metal Jacket, but if you want a more comedic effect, then do what That 70s Show did and do it in more of a whip pan style. And that's all I have for you today. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more of these videos, because there are a lot more that I want to show you.